guys, this is Michael, and today I want to show you guys some errors I discovered that guys are using in the design industry, and I feel that I should call your attention to them so that you can see how you can avoid these errors in your work. I don't know, some of these things are actually a trend that people just jump at and just run with like that without considering what they could represent or what if they are allowed or not. So I'll just show you a few of them this morning and see how you could avoid them as a designer. I saw this work online, and please, this is disclaimer: if any of this work belongs to you, please, there's no any negative thing intended. I just feel that I should call attention of people to works like this, and if it's your work, I think it's just an avenue for you to improve, just like reviewing your work for you, and you have an avenue to improve on your work. That is just the intention of this video. Is not to destroy or spoil someone's work or to pull anybody's work down. It's actually to improve what people have been doing. There's one thing we need to understand in typography. Typography is a field of interest that have a very huge say on anything we do in design. It has statements, it has meaning. Anything we do through a text has meaning to itself. Yet, so I want us to understand that the font we choose, the style we use, the color we use on the font, the way we tweak the font, anything we do on the font, on the text, has meaning. Yet, so when I saw this work, I felt somehow about the work. I don't know the intention of the designer, what the person is trying to achieve, but I feel that this looks like an abuse on typography rules. It's an abuse because now this word is greatness together. Greatness. Now this method used here has created a division between this GREA and NESS. T splitting the whole thing to two, splitting them apart. So that is my one issue. Yeah, you can stylize your text, you can try and be creative about it, but ensure that if you're starting with this size of font from here, from this angle, you need to continue with the same size in this other side of it too. There's only for you to make this one smaller than this one. That's already made this single text single word become like two words. And this T, I think the use of this T is too huge. It's just too much. The distinction between these letters and this T is too much. Now coming to this one. So I would advise that if you want to be creative with your word as a designer, just try as much as possible to be creative. If you want to use it like this, then you have to make sure that this one, this NESS, takes the same size of GREA. Then you reduce the thickness of this T. There is something we use in Photoshop that will help you maintain the thickness of this text, even if you are trying to increase the size of this T, it will still maintain the same uniform. I will show you just now. Just let me show you quickly. So quickly, let me show you how to achieve that, because it really helps you guys to know how to manage your text. So this is it. I actually don't know the font name guy used there. It's something that's similar to but I can't be searching font name now because I don't want this video to be lengthy, and This is just for explanation purpose, not really for the main work. So let me just show you guys. This is the text I chose. Now I want to stretch out the T from this whole text. Instead of me to just go ahead and stretching it to make it look like this, where the thickness of the T is more than the other text we have here, the other letters we have here. The same thing with these letters here and NESS. Let me quickly show you guys how to do this. Now you just double click to bring your text to, then you highlight the particular text you're talking about here. Then you go to your text box here, and you come to this place, this particular one here. You stretch, you drag out. See, you drag out like this. Then you can try and make it, bring it down a little so that it won't be too stretchy. See, drag it out just to stretch it up. See, then you try to break it down. So what I do is that I will now come to this text here. I will add boldness to it so that they look close. I add boldness to this one too. See, now the distinction is not too much. Look at it now. It's not too much. Don't even increase. Don't use text size increase. Just use this one. You see the distinction will be created. Then you just use it to take it up or take it down. Just trying to balance it up to see how it will look like. Something like this now is different from when you have something completely like this. The distinction here is too much. What I'm trying to bring out. This one, like we're saying, greer T nice. So it doesn't show that it's a single text. But if you look at this one now, you can easily relate to it that this is a single text. You just stretch out this T from among these other letters. There are some fonts that you might not need to add. There are some fonts that you might not need to add boldness to the remaining text. That the thickness will just balance up like that. But when you observe that it's a bit thicker, when you are stretching, it's a bit thicker than the remaining text, just add boldness to the remaining text so that it will look very close. If you look at this one we have here now, it looks very close. The only place that has a bit of more thickness is this slap part of the T. Yet, so that's one. That one is still manageable. But if I'm to really work on this thing, I will take my time to ensure that this part one is the same thickness with the body. But just for the sake of time, and I just want to make sure this video doesn't take long before I finish it. That's why just be creative. But what I'm trying to say is that the message is passed. If you look at this one now, it looks more coordinated. This text now looks more coordinated than this one. And I want to believe probably the person that designed this work is trying to be like this person. This one can represent a human figure that will be outstanding among others. Maybe that's why he stretched this one out. But when you come to something like this, the message is still well passed across. It's still well passed across. There is distinction among others. So just note that. Don't break your text like this. It doesn't look professional. So the next one I want to show you guys is this one. This one. I feel that as a designer, we need to understand the importance of not just the element you're using, but even some contrast part of the elements. There's some principles that you need to know, because some people just know only elements. They don't know the principles guiding those elements. They don't know the rules guiding those elements. Now, the person here designed Trailblazer. Now, what I saw as an error in this one that made me pick this work is this. You're writing Trailblazer, which is a single word. It's supposed to be written like this. Let me turn off this one. It's supposed to be Trailblazer. This is the normal word. This is how it's written. Trailblazer. It's a single word. So the person now brought it and made it like this. Number one, there are so many reasons why we break text in design. One of the reasons is this. Maybe the space you have provided for this text to be written though cannot contain this lengthy word, because I think we have like 11 letters in this word and it's a long one. If the space you have is not enough, probably if the space you want to contain it to reduce the size of the text, you might need to break it into two. Now there's a rule guiding that. If you're breaking your text into two, it shouldn't be like this, where you have trail bigger than blazer. What the person is trying to do is that the person was trying to shrink blazer to be the same size with the same size of width with a trail. This side and this side to able to be compressed within this both side. But it is a very wrong use of contrast when it comes to breaking your text. Now this issue is this. You can come to this blazer, you start it and you break it like this. This one, you put it like this. Let me reduce the So look at it now. Now what I know you can do, there are two things. You can leave it like this, or you add this hyphen like this. So it shows that this word continues below, yet, and you might remove it. When you are removing it, anyhow, either you add the hyphen or you remove it, ensure that you can also centralize it if you like. It will be centralized like this, or you put it at your normal left alignment. Now what I'm trying to say is that it's better you keep this like this than to do it like this, because if you are stretching this trail to be bigger than this blazer, then what you are doing is that you are separating a single word to be two words. So you already made it trail blazer. That is separating it from being just a single word to be two double words. Because why? That's what we call contrast in typography. That's what we call contrast in typography. And this is it. Anything you do, we have contrast of color in typography. We have contrast of size in typography. We have contrast of weight in typography. We have contrast of different things in typography, even of text in typography. Now, when you have this one, you have it's contrast of weight. Contrast of weight doesn't apply to a single text that's broken into two or another number. It doesn't apply to it. Contrast of weight applies to different words, but it's a single design. So what you have here is contrast of weight applying to a single word that is broken into two. So it makes this trail a single word on its own and make this blazer another word on its own. So that is a very wrong use of typography. Don't break your text like this. It is very, very wrong. So just leave it as like this. That's centralized left alignment or right alignment, anything you want to do it, but ensure that the thickness, the weight is the same size. It tells people that this is a single word. And if you want to make it clear to people, you can just add your hyphen here at the front. It shows that it continues. Even in a normal single word, when you add it like that, it shows that it's a single word that continues. You get? So just avoid that. No matter how beautiful it looks to you, no matter how beautiful it looks to you, it is wrong, because this is what the rule of contrast in typography, and this is contrast of weight in typography. So avoid that. So the last one I will be showing you in this video as an error that I see that is trending in the design industry is this last one. This one is even like a trend. I don't know if you guys have seen works like this before. I don't know if you have seen. This is very common. I think it's a trend. And that's why I always advise designers. It's not all trends, all the trends that you see out like jump on. You can't just go about and be following trends anyhow without understanding how to use some things. You see them writing Friday, stretching the D like this. Yeah, they will stretch the D. They might choose to stretch the E. They might choose to stretch any of the text that you just feel like stretching. they stretch it. And my question the question I always ask is, whenever I see anything like this, is that why are they stretching the text? Don't forget what I told you earlier at the beginning of this video. I said anything you do to your text must be done on purpose, must be intentional. Don't just do things for the sake of it. Maybe you just feel that people are doing it, it looks good to you, you just drop at it and do it. Even the one I have here as leverage, I even for design, because people don't even do it like this. They'll just stretch it anyhow. So this is what I'm trying to bring out in this part. Why are you stretching the letter between Friday? That's the D. Why are you stretching it? Why do you choose to stretch this leverage? The word I even use here, the word I even use for this leverage is even too close to something like this. Probably like you want to design a logo, but so people will just choose words anyhow and just stretch a letter out of that word. So I want you guys to avoid something like that. You are writing Friday, you are stretching the D, letter D there, so that you can just be among people that are using that particular trend. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't show you're a professional. So please avoid all these issues. Just write your letter, your letter straight and be good. Understand? Just write it straight and be good. What's bad in you just writing the letter straight? Just write it straight normally. Leverage. It looks great. It looks professional. And what's stopping you from just writing your Friday the normal way? D. Sorry. Still carries the setting. The Friday. It makes more sense. It looks more professional like this than you just choosing letter A, stretch it, letter R, stretch it. So people are even stretching letter R like that. It's now be stretched. So all those things they don't make sense. As a professional designer, please avoid all these errors in design. People are doing it doesn't mean that you must do it too. You must be different. You must be outstanding. You must be distinct from all these things that people do that are not correct. And this is one of the reasons why it's good for you to learn all these things. Don't just go to Google and download all this and start copying and just be designing. Understand why you are using what you are using as a designer. Understand why you are using what you're using as a designer. Learn to be a great designer by understanding those elements and principles and other fundamentals that you need to know in design. And if you don't mind, if you want me to teach you how to do something like this, you can just send me a DM and I will guide you how to achieve such a thing. I have many courses that I teach people about design. I teach them very well about typography and many other things like that, and it has been a very great help for them. So there's one thing in design you need to know. You need to constantly learn design constantly, and it will help you. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next thing. So see you in the next video. My name is Michael. Bye bye.